What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video here on NBA 2K22. Now today we're going back in time. We've been doing these lately. We did the Blazers, we did what other team? The Lakers, and there was another team I'm forgetting about that we did it with. But today we're going to be doing it with the Indiana Pacers. Now I know that sounds interesting. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit more. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, would be greatly appreciated. Let's jump right into this one. So to be honest with you, I'm glad the Pacers did what they did. But I feel like, maybe we could have done something different back then. So, the Pacers for quite some time, I think all of us will admit, were kind of a boring roster. They had a lot of the guys that could be really good players as like number 2, number 3 options, but none of these guys really come out to you as like the number 1 option type of guy. So could I make that here in Indiana? Of course, they got Tyrese Halliburton at the trade deadline, which is awesome. And I think all of us were excited that the Pacers went a different direction. But I'm going to try to see if I can make that same direction change, but maybe in a little bit of a different way. So, of course, you have Brogdon, you have Karis LeVert, you have TJ Warren, you have Miles Turner. Like, there's so many guys I could trade here to revamp this roster a little bit. And I want to see if I can make it happen. And there's also some guys I could decide to keep around for this team. So, I think it'll be fun. Let's jump right into this. So, draft lottery time. I don't even remember what pick the Pacers were projected here, but it looks like we're projected pick number 13. So, obviously, it'll be really awesome to like somehow get to number 1, but that's probably not going to happen. We stick at number 13. Pistons get number 1, Magic number 2, and Rockets have number 3. So the draft will be an important process here. But for us, in my opinion, since I am going to try not to go the route of rebuilding this team, I'm going to try to go the route of keeping this team as a contender in the East, because the Pacers felt that's what they were before they decided, we should probably rebuild. Because you guys know, going into the season, they were there to compete. They were there to try to make the playoffs, and then they eventually found out it wasn't going to work. So they decided to kind of blow it up a little bit at the trade deadline. But this time, in the offseason, I'm going to try to put them in position to be that playoff contender and maybe even a championship contender if we can do that here with the Pacers. So we're back to that boring roster they used to have. So on draft night, with this 13th overall pick, obviously we could go in there, and we have a couple second rounders as well. We could go in there, take a look at mock drafts. We could take like a lucky and get Scotty Barnes to fall to us, but we're going to pretend, obviously this is before the draft, we didn't know how good these guys were, and we were not going to get an Evan Mobley. We weren't high enough. So we are actually going to trade this first round pick in order to try to upgrade this roster a little bit. So who do I want to start with? First and foremost, I want to decide whether or not I want to keep Sabonis as a center, or do I want to keep Miles Turner as a center? Like, one of these guys is going to be the center of the team, and I don't know which one I want to stick around. So if we have Sabonis be the center of the team, it would be solid. He's 25 years old, while Miles Turner is 25. So really, you can't go wrong with either of them. They both bring something different to the table. But I want at least one or the other playing center for us. And I think since the Pacers decided to keep Miles Turner, I'm going to go different today. And I'm going to keep Sabonis on this team as the center of this team. So Sabonis will be the center, but I do not want him to be the guy we have to rely on. I want a guy to come in that'll be better than him at day 1. So Miles Turner will be part of a trade, who's 25. TJ Warren will probably be part of a trade. Karis LeVert, and then Malcolm Brogdon will probably be part of a trade as well. So let's get cooking. Let's see what we can come up with. I don't really know what we'll be able to find out there, but I want to try to make something happen for this team in order to put this team in a different position they could have been in. So let's see if I can make something happen here and bring in a guy that would have been really nice to have next to Sabonis day 1 here. And out of this Pacers roster, maybe be a contender here. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. So now that we got the regular season coming to an end, March Madness is over, and of course now we have playoff basketball coming soon. So what better way to make playoff basketball even more fun by playing a game we like to call Prize Picks over here. Prize Picks is a game where you're literally just picking overs or unders on NBA players or any sport you really want to in general. So basically, show you a few examples of some times that I've won some money playing this game. It's just so much fun. Basically, you just pick a player because they have numbers up all the time. You can either choose between over or under, obviously, and then you're literally playing nobody but the number. So you don't have to worry about facing anybody else and someone else beating you. It's literally you versus the projections, and it's so much fun. And if you want to go ahead and download it, the link's in the description below. Use my promo code Crushables, and they match up to 100%, deposit match up to $100. So it's so much fun. Might as well join it. I would love to see you guys play some Prize Picks. So I've wondered if before the season started, the Pacers could have maybe convinced the Spurs to give them DeJounte Murray, which is what I'm going to go for here, because we know DeJounte Murray became an absolute stud this year, which he already kind of was. But it'd be Jeremy Lamb and 2 future picks for DeJounte Murray And just like that, we get DeJounte Murray to be kind of a new guard here in Indiana to, put us in a different position. So DeJounte Murray comes over here immediately. I love him. I love him. And we didn't even have to really trade one of the core guys I was kind of thinking about. So we got DeJounte Murray for our 13th overall pick. So that kind of puts Brogdon in a weird position. You still have LeVert, who you could, decide to keep around, which I might actually keep LeVert around for this team. And then you have TJ Warren, who wasn't healthy anyway. So maybe you wouldn't have been able to trade him. And then obviously Sabonis is playing center. So that kind of leaves us still Miles Turner here. So I still want to probably trade Miles Turner because, like I said, I wanted to get rid of one of them. So we threw Miles Turner in the trade finder. We got DeJounte Murray from San Antonio. So what could we have gotten for Miles Turner in the trade market? So we traded 2 of our picks to do so. So Miles Turner is a guy that I think... So something like this could have been interesting. A Miles Bridges for Miles Turner swap. We know what Miles Bridges became, but the Hornets maybe didn't know it yet. Maybe they did. Who knows? And then they get Miles Turner, an immediate guy who could play the center spot with LaMelo Ball. And then they have PJ Washington over there as well. So I kind of like the idea of this. Maybe they go with PJ Washington instead of Miles Bridges. So I like the idea of that in a way. Or, PJ Washington wouldn't be bad either. But we'll see. Derek Favors, Royce O'Neal. You got Buddy Hield, which is solid as well. Terrence Ross, Joe Harris, Aaron Gordon, which is interesting. But I think the trade that makes the most sense is that Hornet swap. They give us Miles Bridges. We take a chance on him. We see the potential in him, and we see a guy that could become an absolute freaking stud for us. I'm going to make this trade happen. Trading a second-round pick in order to do it, but I'm getting Miles Bridges in the process. So just like that, Miles Bridges is our brand new power forward here in Indiana, and we're going to have to hope he develops like we think he's going to develop. So just like that, we have made some moves. We have made this Pacers roster look a little bit different than it did look. So Miles Bridges next to bonus is interesting, I will say, but I think it could work. And then Goga backing up Sabonis for right now. And you got Doug McDermott, O'Shea Brissett, who are both free agents. And then TJ Warren right now is a small forward, which isn't terrible. But if a team would be willing to take a chance on him, I definitely wouldn't mind trading him. And I'll probably keep LeVert as our shooting guard or Brogdon. I mean, either way, we could maybe move Brogdon to shooting guard because I want to put Murray as the point guard of this team. Sole point guard of this team. So DeJounte Murray is going to be the guard of this team. Backed up by TJ McConnell, which is awesome. You got Brogdon and LeVert. So you can have like a 6-man right here, which I think is really nice. So I like the pieces here with these two. And then TJ Warren, I think, is the other guy I think I kind of want to trade away. So don't know what you could have gotten for TJ Warren. Like I said, he wasn't healthy. So I'm not sure if there would have been a team that would be willing to take the chance and be like, oh, okay, we could take him. Maybe you got Miami, who would have taken a TJ Warren at this time and get Precious Achiuwa on a first-round pick in return. Could have been a nice win-now piece for them. Gordon Hayward, Derek Favors, Buddy Hield. But since TJ Warren is healthy here, I kind of want to trade him. So I kind of like the idea of that Achiuwa trade. I think it makes a lot of sense. Kemba Walker would be awesome as well, but not going to do that at that price range. So I am going to go ahead and make that trade with the Miami Heat. We get a 2025 first in Precious Achiuwa. We get the bubble MVP out of here. So now you have Murray, McConnell, Brogdon, and LeVert, and the Justin Holiday right now, and Keelan Martin. You got Miles Bridges, Doug McDermott, O'Shea Brissett, and then Sabonis and Achiuwa. So definitely an interesting looking roster. If we go straight to rookie signing, we ended up getting, whoops, not staff retirement. Okay, I think I glitched it for a second. And we skipped moratorium day 1, which is kind of annoying, but 2K is doing its glitch. So rookie signing, we got Keefe, who I have no idea who that is. Brissett accepted, Edmund Summer accepted, and qualifying offers we had none. Okay, so I guess we're kind of caught up a little bit. But moratorium day, we had no unrestricted free agents unless 2K already renounced them. So McConnell is actually not here. So I thought he was under contract, but he wasn't. So LeVert, and then Brissett came back, which is awesome. So got Brissett, and then Edmund Summer came back. So I guess you could technically move LeVert to small forward, which wouldn't hurt us too much. But you do have some money, it looks like. So Bruce Brown, you got a Danny Green type player you could bring in, or even a Josh Hart type of player, which wouldn't hurt us either. Or even go for Taylor Horton Tucker and try your luck on him. But we have our full mid-level, which is awesome. So I think I do want to go ahead and use this on Josh Hart, though. I'm going to grab Josh Hart from Villanova. Obviously came from Villanova. I don't know why I'm acting like he's from there now, but we're going to get Josh. Never mind. Oh, I guess you're restricted. I didn't realize that. Okay, never mind. Don't get Josh Hart. So Taylor Horton Tucker, also restricted free agent. James Ennis. And then you got Danny Green out here. Alec Burks, Paul Millsap, Kelly Olynyk, Rudy Gay. And then you got like Bruce Brown. You got Glover, whoever the hell that is. Noel, no idea who these guys are. So you know what? I wouldn't mind Bruce Brown as a guy to come over to Indiana as like a bench piece for this team. And did we have a trade exception? We have a $12 million trade exception, which, ooh, we could maybe use that to our advantage. So I think we'll move LeVert to small forward, up to an 83 overall. So Bruce Brown, we could also probably move to small forward or keep him at shooting guard either way. But that $12 million trade exception I find very interesting. I don't know who we would be able to find and put in that trade exception, but would be kind of nice to maybe use it. Let's go see who would fit that criteria. So I think we got to wait till after free agency to do it though. So let's go past free agency since we're not going to be doing much else. So we got player progression. Everyone's going up. So bonus is up to an 88, which is good. But now let's try that trade exception and see if we can find somebody that would fit under that $12 million exception to get ourselves another quality role player. So this is going to be the team going into this next season. We decided not to use that trade exception because there really wasn't anything I could find, but I kind of like it. You got DeJounte Murray, who I think brings some excitement to this team, especially if he develops into what he could become. And then Miles Bridges, same thing. He's got Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert, Miles Bridges, Domantas Sabonis, Ochoa, Bruce Brown, O'Shea Brissett, and Goga Bitadze. So I kind of like the shape of this team. Now, one thing I do want to look at is some shot tendencies. So, like I said, I do want DeJounte Murray to become that stud I think he can become. So I'm going to boost DeJounte Murray's shot tendency very, very high. Brogdon and LeVert's I'll lower maybe just a little bit. And then Miles Bridges, same thing. Precious Achiuwa's shot tendency is a little insane for me. But Miles Bridges, same kind of thing. I want him to become really freaking good for this team as well, just like he did in Charlotte. So proficiency-wise, we're 3.5, perimeter-centric. Really don't have any expectation. Obviously, the expectation is getting the playoffs. That's what we need for the most. So we kind of changed up the Pacers roster. I think we made it a little bit more exciting, made some things happen. Now, will this team make the playoffs here in 2K is a question mark. I mean, I think we have a good team to do it, though. I really do think it is possible. So we'll kind of just see what happens here, see what 2K thinks about this roster as a whole. So at the end of the season, Trae Young wins MVP. Cunningham's rookie of the year on the Detroit Pistons, so that still looks right for us. And then Spencer Dinwiddie wins 6th man on the Chicago Bulls. Giannis defense player, then Trae Young's most improved, and Rick Carlisle, coach of the year. We went literally 67-15. Now, I said I wanted to change the roster. Didn't know it would equal to 67-15. Literally almost won 70 freaking games with the Pacers, which is just kind of awesome. So Jeremy Vaughn's your executive. Here's your All-NBA first team with Trae Young, Luka, Giannis, LeBron, Bam. Now, I'm going to assume we don't have any All-NBA players, which would be awesome if we did. I mean, a 67-15 team, you would think there would be at least one, but I don't think there's... Actually, DeJounte Murray. So, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see. So, I know I boosted a shot tendency up like crazy, but this is the kind of excitement you would love to see. Now, Spurs would probably be hesitant to give him up. Don't get me wrong. But maybe before the season started, a conversation could have been had on it. And if the Pacers were willing to strike on DeJounte Murray and he becomes a stud like that, I mean, that'd be awesome to see. But let's go look at the stats. So I think DeJounte Murray was a huge part of why we were so good. So Miles Bridges went up to 18 points per game, 17 from Brogdon, 17 from LeVert, and then 15 from Sabonis. Like, yeah, everybody contributed in a way. So this was a really talented roster. DeJounte Murray, like I said, I wanted him to become that guy for us, and he did. He is the guy I wanted, and he would bring some excitement to that Indiana Pacers roster. 18 points from Miles Bridges, 17 from Brogdon, and then 17 from LeVert, 15 from Sabonis. So kept Sabonis around, and we got Miles Bridges in here, DeJounte Murray in here as well. So yeah, I really love what this roster became. So obviously, doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything in the playoffs. So you got Kobe White, Levine, Williams, Lauri Markkanen. So instead of obviously getting Lonzo Ball and DeMar DeRozan in the same offseason for Chicago, they instead go ahead and get Dinwiddie, and they kept Kobe White as the point guard. So hopefully we don't lose in the first round to an 8th seed. You know, it is 2K. Anything is possible. Similarly, current round, and we're up 3-0, and we beat them in 5. So thankfully, we went on to beat the Chicago Bulls. We're on to the second round. Now we're on to the second round to play the New York Knicks. So let's go ahead and see. We got Derrick Rose, RJ Barrett, Kawhi Leonard, Julius Randle, Mitch Robinson, Amanda Quickly. So wow, the Knicks got themselves Kawhi Leonard, which that's scary. So this will be a tough team to beat, I would imagine. Derrick Rose, RJ, Kawhi, Randle, Mitch Robinson, Quickly. So Brooklyn and Atlanta, and then we got New Orleans, Memphis, Utah, and Dallas. So let's see if we can beat the Knicks. Game 1, we're down 1-0. I mean, it is Kawhi Leonard, so we do even it up though. So 30 and 13 from Sabonis in that game. Game 3, we're down 2-1. Game 4, we even it up though. Can we go up 3-2? No, we cannot. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, this would be a tough task. I mean, Kawhi Leonard with the Knicks with Julius Randle. I mean, that's a good looking team. So can we come beat them though is the question. So it's looking good for a game 7. Push this back to Indiana, but anything's possible. We do beat them 119 and 117. So this is game 7 in Indiana. So that could obviously play a factor for us winning this one. The Indiana Pacers crowd should be very loud. So let's see if we can beat the Knicks here to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's looking good so far, but anything is possible. And I think it's safe to say that we beat them. 115 to 140, 25 and 10 from Brogdon, 25 and 13 from Sabonis, and then 24 and 5 from Miles Bridges. So just like that, the team has come together, and we're already not even that long into the video. We ended up making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now we got New Orleans and Utah on the other side, but now we get the Brooklyn Nets. So looking at Brooklyn, you have Kyrie Irving, James Harden, of course, which that ended up working out. You got Joe Harris, KD, Claxton, Deontay Singleton, DeAndre Jordan, Landry Shamet, Isaiah Jackson. Wow, their bench is horrible, literally horrible. But I mean, the big three is the scary part. And then Claxton, it's not a bad starting five, obviously. So game one, we're up 1-0. Our depth is way better than theirs, but I don't know if that'll mean anything. So good start. Game two, we're up 2-0. All right, we literally blew them out. Achua is just an absolute savage, I guess. 13 points. Scores 27. All right. Game three, up 3-0. And then we beat them in 5. Yeah, so we're in the NBA Finals, ladies and gentlemen, already. Now we get to play the Pelicans, though. So we got Lonzo, Alexander Walker, Ingram, Zion, Steven Adams. So we literally have nothing to lose here. If we beat the Pelicans, we win a championship. If not, we still got another. We're literally up 3-0. And we swept the Pelicans. Let's freaking go, baby. I did not expect to win a championship in the first season by doing that. I kind of want to run it back, though. I don't want to end it off one season. Kind of want to keep the roster intact. And I also kind of want to see what kind of development we could get out of like Miles Bridges and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep the roster probably the same, especially after winning the way we did. That was an absolute freaking W. The DeJounte Murray trade was well worth it. So we have to feel really good about ourselves right now. We definitely have to feel really freaking good. We redid the Pacers offseason, and we won a championship in season number 1. That simple. Got to feel great about that. So now we got the 30th overall pick, obviously. But I probably won't worry about the 30th overall pick too much. At number 30, we're going to be grabbing Kendall Brown, which is probably somebody I would have taken anyway. So player options, I'll accept pretty much everybody. Let's bring everybody back. Qualifying offers, Miles Bridges, Aaron Holiday. So, of course, we would have to make a decision on Miles Bridges, which we just won a damn championship. So, yes, I want to bring him back. Edmund Summer, I'll bring back as well for 2 years. So, Edmund Summer, fortunately, is not giving me the option to go ahead and offer Miles Bridges a contract yet. But he should be getting one, I would assume. I don't know what his overall went up to. But, yeah, I mean, literally a W season. So, just waiting for Miles Bridges simply, and then we can kind of go from there. So, really wish I could just give him a contract right now. I don't think it'll let me, though, because 2K is weird like that. Yeah, it's not going to work. So, yeah. So, I don't know why 2K does that, but it's regardless, he should be back. I'm going to be able to match. I should be able to, as long as 2K doesn't do something stupid, not let me match. So, his 6 offers are all horrible. So, that's kind of unfortunate for him. So, he is back in Indiana. Would have loved to have paid him, but it is what it is. So, DeJounte Murray goes up 1, which I would love to see that go up to like an 88, man. The man was an absolute freaking stud, and he just won a damn championship. I wish 2K kind of let players develop a little bit more when you win a championship. I'm sure morale effects maybe has a play in that, but I usually play with those off because sometimes when you're really bad, the morale is just horrible. Like, guys just don't even want to re-sign with you. So, which is, sometimes hard to control. But we're going to be going into this next season, probably trying to expect the same thing. Power ranking doesn't land us very high again, but we just literally came off a championship win. Rick Carlisle did his thing. Proficiency is still 3.5. Same roster, same starting 5. Not going to mess with anything. We're going to see if this team can go on and go win it all again, which would be awesome. So at the end of the season, we finished up as the 2nd seed this time. It's not as good as last year. Jabari wins Rookie of the Year on the Pistons. So if the Pistons walk away with literally Kate Cunningham and then Jabari Smith Jr. in this next coming draft, that'll be really awesome. And guys, during the draft lottery, I will be streaming because you guys know, as a Blazers fan, I will have a very, very good eye on that because, of course, we could potentially have 2 lottery picks depending on what happens with the Pelicans in the play-in tournament, but we'll see how that goes. But I'll be a first team, I'll be a second, I'll be a third team. DeJounte Murray still making it, which is absolutely awesome. Only 23 points per game this season, but that's fine. So 2nd seed in the East for us this time around. Taking a look at the player stats, we had 23 for Murray, 17 for Bridges, 16 for Brogdon, 16 for Sabonis, and 14 for LeVert, and 13 for Pressure Achua. So Achua is just one of those guys that's really good in this game. But let's see if we win another one. So if we don't win another championship, I won't be too upset. We won it in the first season already. So Garland and Suggs is your backcourt this time with Bagley and Jarrett Allen. So no Evan Mobley this time. Instead, it is Bagley, which, it's kind of similar, but Mobley is probably a lot better, obviously. And then Jalen Suggs replaces Sexton. Is Sexton even here anymore? I don't think he is. So see what happens. Somebody current round against Cleveland. We're down 1-0. But we end up winning the next 4 games. So we're up 4-1 and beat them in 5. And now we get to play the Philadelphia 76ers. So we have Maxey, Milton, Dale Lawson, Tobias, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, known well, Matisse Thybulle, and Hassan Weiss. And they got Charlotte and Chicago on the other side of the bracket. The Chicago Bulls somehow got Trae freaking Young on their team. How did they afford that is the question. And did you guys see yesterday? Stephen Curry signs a minimum contract with the Jazz, and then now Trae Young's doing it with the Chicago Bulls. 2K, you got to fix your game, bro. Why? At 24 years old, with Trae Young signing my minimum contract, doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. Does not make any sense. I have never seen a young player chase the championship that hard. We have the Blazers on the other side with Dame and CJ still doing their thing. They ended up beating the Pelicans in 6 over there. But now we get to play Philly. We have Simmons and Maxey and Embiid. So somebody turn around, and we are going to go down 3-2 to them. Okay, not a good look, but hey, we could maybe force a game 6. We were actually in this position literally last year, and we went on to win a championship. So can we do that same exact thing is the question, and it's not looking very good. Well, you know what, actually? As long as we don't allow them to come back, I think we have forced a game 7, which we have. 130 to 116. Bridges steps up big time. 34 points, which is absolutely fantastic. And now it is game 7 in Indiana. So similar to last year, we basically have to do the same thing that we did last year to the Knicks. So can we do that same thing here to the 76ers, where we were in a position to lose, but we somehow won? So can we do it? It's looking good, although they could come back still, but I like our chances here. I think we have done it again, just like that. Is 122 to 139 to Jonathan Murray in that closeout game. 39 points. You love to see it, averaging 23 in the playoffs. And now I get to play the Chicago Bulls, who have Trae Young. So I would assume we're going to lose here. Definitely going to lose here. And they got Utah and Portland. So Portland as the 8th seed makes it all the way. So you love to see that for 2K. Game 1, we're up 1-0 though. Okay. We're up 2-0. Dude, no way we beat the Chicago Bulls, right? We're up 3-1. And we beat them in 5. And now we get the Portland Trailblazers. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Things are really crazy in 2K. We're up 1-0, 154 to 106, 28 from Karis LeVert. Game 2, we're up 2-0. Game 3, up 3-0. And we sweep the Portland Trailblazers. Just like that, we put that together a roster that won 2 championships in a row. And I'm going to end it there, guys. I think that was an absolute freaking W video. I still cannot wait to get to the offseason rebuilds. I still need to make my own 2K share scenario, though, which I will be doing before the regular season is over. That way we can have everything updated and 2K does not crash on me. But regardless, hope you enjoyed this video. I think it was a W. Was there any more teams offseason you would like me to redo? Do we want to do anything like that? Do we want to redo the Chicago Bulls, who had a crazy offseason? We want to redo the Miami Heat? Let me know. Definitely leave a like, subscribe if you're new. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.